Hello, everybody. We're trying one more time. How do I get rid Okay. Show three people. There we are. Yes. I don't know what's going on. I had to go to another computer, so I don't know if there's something wrong with my other computer or what. Now you guys need to look at all my candles and cards, and I don't know what's going on. How is everybody tonight? This is a different camera, everything. Yes, Mercury retrograde. Because it did this Wednesday night too, but I was able to go in on another one and on another page, but it wouldn't let me do that this time. So, Casey, Star Crossing, how is everybody tonight? Who else is here? I showed three people. I thought we'd do a little bit of talking tonight about how you guys got started on your spiritual path. Love the cards I pulled, Casey. Casey's supposed to be starting her own YouTube channel. Did she tell you guys that? Oh, how awesome. So did you start your channel now, Casey? On Leon's community tab. Oh, how cool is that? I'll have to go in and look. How cool is that? I thought Leon was cute like yesterday when he was doing the Gemini reading. That was so cute. He was so flustered. How did I start my Casey? Okay, from being sick all the time. Okay, just from being sick all the time. I started checking into, well, one of the gals started me on vitamins, and I picked up a little book called The Way of Herbs. and then I got into herbs, and then I got into alternative healing. And that just started off the whole thing. And I was listening to a psychic on the radio. Her name was Yvonne Chardello. That woman, said she was a walk-in. Magnesium, natural calm. Natural calm. Natural calm is immediately absorbable, but a lot of headaches are caused by lack of magnesium. And they sell it on Vitacost and naturalvitality.com and amazon.com. Rosemary oil, yeah. If you have a Costco close to you, some of the Costcos are selling magnesium too. You just took magnesium? And then I went, the first class I went to was with Yvonne Chardello. She was starting meditation classes, and then she started teaching things. And it's interesting because a lot of the things that she was teaching was out of the PSI seminars that I later went to a couple. And But she had some other stuff she added too because she said she was a walk-in. Okay, she was a walk-in. and my son and I were talking about it a couple months ago. He says, she was the she was the most accurate of ever any teacher that any of us have had. So let me hear how you guys got started on your journeys. Let's do a sit around the campfire and tell stories tonight. Yes, Casey, you go first. How'd you get started? Who else is here? There's two more people here. We would like you to contribute to the conversation too. If you have any peppermint oil, somebody told one of my granddaughters to put a little bit of peppermint oil on her temples, and it got rid of her headache. Yes, peppermint or rosemary. I can't use peppermint because I do homeopathy. For some reason, mint and tea tree oil negate homeopathy. Where is everybody tonight? Is Leon here? He was so cute. You were so cute. You were so flustered yesterday. Hello, Leo. Fire. Oh my goodness. It's a YouTube problem because this computer's doing it too. Only on this one I can see the live chat. Mercury retrograde. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, Leon, how did you start your spiritual journey? He can share, and Casey, you need to share too. I think I had some abilities when I was a child because I used to I used to sleep with blankets over my head, even in the middle of summer, because I was terrified. Yes, yes. Hey, Beth. We're going to tell campfire stories tonight. How did you get started on your spiritual path? And maybe tell some of the experiences of things that have happened to you. You start about 3 or 4? Like Star-Crossing has always had a tube, yeah. I'm listening, Leon. I was very, very introverted. Very introverted. Wow. Hi, Canary. How are you tonight? Even with my first husband's family, they used to call me Mother Nature because they said I was on a natural high. I just went and did my own thing. Oh, great. We just lost everything. Good. Well, I guess we're not supposed to have spiritual talk tonight. Wow. I had to pull up the other one. Ah. Okay, my main page is, I don't know if you guys can see me or not. Can you see me now? Because I'm not showing any picture at all. That's cool, Leon. That's absolutely cool. Mine just started out because I was sick all the time. Did I lose everybody? It comes on them buffers. Yeah, I pulled up the second one because I couldn't see. I can't see the picture in at all, but I can see you guys' chat. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, YouTube. Oh, YouTube. Yeah, we're in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. Yeah. I'm on a second computer too. I rebooted once and came back on and it was still doing it, so I tried another computer. Like I said, I can't see anything. It's telling me an error occurred, but I can see your chat. Casey was okay. Leon's been telling us how he got started on his spiritual journey, and Casey was starting to tell us about her. So the subject tonight is, how did you get started on your spiritual path, hon? So Canary and enlightenment, you're on the spot. I still do that star crossing. Sometimes I just decide to take a different route home. I don't know if it's just because of boredom or what. And the first one, yeah. Hey, Casey, you were starting to tell us about your spiritual path, hon? And I promise next week I will have one of the angels up. This week has just been inside and out all the way around. It's intuition, yeah. But that's like one day everything, I was going to go do all my errands before my doctor's appointment, and everything in the world happened to keep me from leaving. And all I could do is throw up my hands and say, okay, I recognize I'm being delayed. Thank you if it was to protect me from an accident or whatever. But what it turned out is I needed to interact with somebody in the next town that doesn't even live in this area. So it runs in your family. Yeah. Like I said, I think I used to see things when I was little. I remember being scared. We had a willow tree in the backyard, and the willow tree, huge, huge, 100 feet tall willow tree, right? And the neighbors would have their porch light on, and the willow tree leaves would move, and it looked like walls, like worms wiggling all over the walls. And I was scared to death of wolves under my bed. Or a giant crab. I don't know where the giant crab, well, maybe I do. I think it was a movie I watched. And my mom would never, ever come in when I was scared at night. And my mom was born in Unity Church. One of her stepsisters was a channel. I met her, gosh, probably about 35 years ago. We drove down to Florida, me and my aunt and my two older kids. And she was a channel. She had all kinds of books out and everything. Yes, let's hear a little bit about it, enlightenment. Because, you do realize that all that religious teachings are all just programming to keep us from finding our full potential. And my mom was raised in Unity Church, which is very metaphysical, but she used to use everything to scare me to death, you know? It's a mind bender. I sent my oldest daughter to Catholic school because she had a lot of patience. Okay, this girl had waist long, thick hair, very curly, and these girls kept harassing her, grabbing her by her hair. One day they grabbed her by her hair at the public school, and they were harassing another little girl. Oh, in fact, okay. Yeah, she was telling me the story the other day too. There was two little Vietnamese girls that had come in, and one of them had liver disease, and they were harassing the little girl with liver disease, and they grabbed my daughter by her hair again, and that just ticked her off so much, between grabbing her hair and harassing the little girl, that she slammed this other little girl into the brick wall and gave her a bloody nose. Anything about them harassing her. And we were talking about this. These little Vietnamese girls had only been here a couple years. They didn't have any friends. We used to take them places with. We'd go up the mountains and stuff. And we stopped to look at some elk over here in a field over here. And the little girl with the liver disease, she goes, and we couldn't figure out. We turn around and look, and there's an elk standing right there at the car. You know, I think my dad would have been the least of my problems, because my dad got me hooked on things like Bigfoot and UFOs and in fact, I asked my dad one time, okay, so my oldest son used to have visitations from different types of ETs, and it always seemed to be at a certain time of year, and we couldn't figure out. Somebody finally told me, well, maybe that planet or those planets or the Earth is at a certain point, and it makes them easier to communicate. But I told my dad one time, I said, were you ever picked up by an ET? And it was funny to watch his face. He had about 100 emotions run across his face, and then he looked confused and he goes, I don't know. But I think it runs in the male side of my family, getting picked up by ETs. And my grandmother was a Mormon. She was raised a Mormon, and she married a Baptist. And she had the pastor from the Baptist church pick me up all the time and take me to church. But you know, I learned more things at the little Presbyterian church down the street than I ever did from them. Oh, yeah. I was probably about 8, and my nephew was 5. There's a spot, there's a Sylvan Lake State Park, and I used to, this beautiful forest and these huge red mountain cliffs. I used to tell him when we were little that there was Indians living in that area. And if I don't know if any of you have ever read any of Mary Summer Rain's books. She No Eyes, her mentor, sent her to clear out spirits in different areas around the state, and she met this passed over Indian couple that were engaged in life, and they take care of the nature in the trees and everything in that area. I said, wow. So when I read that book, I had chills, because it's like, I remember telling my nephew that there was a couple Indians that lived in that area. That's awesome. Sparkles. Life, I bet that's life force, huh? You're going to think it's normal, nobody talks about it. You're going to think everybody else can do it too. And you think it's normal until somebody tells you it's wrong, right? Yeah. And then we think we're different. And it's funny because my first husband's family, his sister did the dark arts. She used to do tarot, but she used to use a regular deck of cards and she used to predict stuff. So I thought it was kind of scary, but I don't know. Eventually, I picked up a deck of cards and somebody scared the heck out of me and I threw them away. But eventually, I just got some and started doing readings. Yeah, we were different. Yeah. When we're actually the normal, everybody else is limited. Because they weren't awake. There was something wrong with everybody else. They weren't awake. Yeah, just not awake. And I can mention one church. It's like there were people that were awake and they were inquiring, and then there were other people that were just like robots that followed the program. They followed the script and they never deviated from anything. It's like these people are not awake. These people are not awake at all. Yes, enlightenment. Ugh. From the minute I married my husband, they called me a witch. But then just remember that people project on you what they do. I was too terrified to do anything. I was so scared of creating karma. Dear karma, you missed a few. I just kind of sit back and watch everything play out nowadays. But then the more enlightened, the more awake we become, we open up the possibility for other people too. Oh, yeah. Me too, hon. And like I said, they used to make fun of me and tell me I was Mother Nature because I wouldn't smoke pot and drink with them. I remember when I was 16, I was in a non denominational church and we were all praying down in the front and I broke out into tongues and I'm like freaked out. It's like, what is this? my mind is going one direction and my mouth is saying something else. I recently had that happen with Tiff. I was trying to tell Tiffany something and something else was coming out of my mouth. Oh, yeah. Casey's a mover and shaker. And I hope you're teaching all that stuff to your son, hon. Yes. Yeah. I was going to say I didn't think anybody else was coming in tonight, but it says there's 7 people watching now. Oh, yes. Anything different. Jezebel, huh? Oh, you know, somebody, okay, so I had a crystal that called me. Okay, didn't know it at the time, but it was a record keeper. And years later I was meditating with that crystal. I had gone to sleep and then all of a sudden I woke up with a start because what I saw in front of me was a light blue screen with a language in white letters that I couldn't read. And somebody told me that that's light language. I've been thinking about getting a tattoo. My kids would be shocked. We'll start calling you Jezebel, hon. Do you know how freaky it is to look at here and not see myself talking and just looking at the chat? I was telling somebody at the fair, I said, you never know what kids are going to do. I was strolling around when my youngest daughter was probably about 2. She was in her stroller and I stopped to look at some crystals and she was looking at things too. When I got home, she had 2 big Herkimer diamonds in her stroller. I should probably give those Herkimer diamonds to her. Had no idea where she got them. One of the tables. Oh, that's awesome enlightenment. I like the one that, what does it say? It says, the one about the rain. Oh, what does it say? About learning to dance in the rain. Yeah, Herkimer diamonds are amazing. What's it called? Learning to dance in the rain. I have it in my bedroom. I don't know my. Life isn't about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. I need to look up light language. Yeah. I have that in my room. Life isn't about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. Where did you see Casey's dress at? We love you too, Casey. You guys are all awesome. Spirit, your head. Yeah. Is it like a reincarnation of a dress from a previous life, hun? I don't know if you guys can hear the dog snoring. What are your colors going to be for the wedding, Casey? I'm trying to come up with something purple for my granddaughter's wedding in July. Your cat snoring? I tell you, I think this pug is part cat. I don't hear any beeping. Oh. So, Beth, how did you start on your spiritual path? Black and red? Very elegant. So I read an article earlier. I forget what state it was, but they said after 28 years of banning yoga, they have changed it so that schools can offer yoga, but they can't say namaste. They can't use the the true names in another language for the yoga. It's like, oh my gosh. I have a friend that they gave her a list of all kinds of things, um, meditation and yoga and tai chi and numerology and astrology. It had a list of about 50 different things. She goes, "You're telling me meditation is evil?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, because you don't know where you're going and what you're doing and who you're connecting with." Well, yeah, if you know how to spiritually protect yourself, you know where you're going. She just kind of looked at him. So one hears a whirling, one hears a beeping, one hears like a stopwatch going off. And it's funny because I have Mormon people that come out and visit me, and one of the gals would interpret everything I said into Mormon terms. And another one, we just sit and talk all kinds of philosophy and stuff. Anything that isn't, yeah, spirit is active tonight. Anything that is different is considered wrong, you know? Morse code, write down, is it dots and dashes? Yeah. I don't know why I'm tired tonight. So star crossing, something came to me early this morning. You keep saying June 30th. If he comes back by June 30th, is he going to be around long term? The way Casey does it, it almost looks like SOS. Just think what kind of interesting things Casey's going to have come up because her birthday is on the full moon eclipse. That's going to be interesting. Let's see what grand and glorious adventures she's going to have this summer. You know, they don't make the military or anybody use Morse code anymore. It's like he's trying to feel at where you are and how you feel. Is he aware that he's doing that star crossing? Is he aware that he's got a he that he's sending me stuff in my dreams and in my energy field before he could figure out how he feels? Not aware. Yeah, because it's like could very possibly be Canary. No, this man believes firmly in the Bible. And when I mentioned one time, I said, well, he asked me something, and I said, well, everything's energy. Everything's energy. He didn't say a word. We all need to send some love and light to whoever's sending the Morse code, the message across. Make a wish, yes. Cause, okay, so when he showed up in my third eye and stuff, that was in September 2019. I sent him a message at the end of, okay, New Year's Eve. I told him it's the end of the year, it's the end of a decade. I'm ready to move on. I said, and I wish you well with everything you do. And I told him, what did I say? I said something about, you never said anything when I talked about the connection between us, but apparently you found that connection. I said, please don't play with it. And of course, he didn't answer. And I had a dream for 3 nights to send him the video on, send him the link for what the bleep do we know. I said, what the hell? I resisted that for a week, and somebody wanted me to send him that, so I sent it to him. Oh, the 21st day on the 21st week in the 21st year in the 21st century. Cool. Okay, so my daughter-in-law sees bunnies everywhere. My grand, yeah, my everywhere this lady goes, work, at their house, everything, okay? There are bunnies everywhere. They just follow her everywhere. And bunnies can represent fertility, but bunnies can also represent dealing with your fears. The beeper is panicking. Yeah, I can't hear the beeping at all, so. It's the masculine energy. No, no bomb. No bomb. Yeah. And in some Native American cultures, they're also called the fear caller. because bunnies are scared of, unless they're used to being handled from the time they're born, they're just so full of fear. So full of fear. Tinkerbell is snoring up a storm. And I know she's sensitive to energy, so my Natasha was too, my lab. She was funny. My lab, I had 40 acres. And I was on the southeast corner of the T. And she got up one day. She walked to the window, the sliding glass door, and started barking. She was going absolutely nuts, and we couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. So my youngest daughter opens the door, and she takes off like a bat out of hell. I said, "What the hell's going on?" So I grabbed my keys. We followed her. The neighbor lady had just had a baby. She'd been home 2 days, and she fell asleep in the basement feeding the baby. This 18-month-old got out of the house somehow, was clear up to the T, about a quarter of a mile. My dog picked up on that, went nuts, went flying over there. And by the time we got there, she was just standing there licking his face. And I thought, whose kid is this? Whose baby is this? The only one I could figure was her house. And I took him home, and she was in the basement asleep. She didn't even know. I don't even think she realized that he was out of the house. But if he would have gone down another quarter of a mile, there was a big pond there. Ugh. Yes, bunnies have a lot of meanings. When I had bunnies, one of them would get out. I don't know, he was a Houdini bunny. He would get out of the cage and he would run the whole neighborhood. And then he would get hungry and he would come back, but he wouldn't let us catch him. So we'd have to close up all the fences, cover all the little holes and everything so we could try to chase him down. And then when you would catch him, his little heartbeat would just be going 100 miles an hour. Yeah, I was trying to come on earlier, Canary. I'm sorry. You have a good night, hon. And I'll try to get on earlier next week, okay? You have an awesome weekend, hon. Yeah, you might want to ask Leon if he's picking up on the beeping, Casey. I'm curious. So ask that masculine energy, name some names and see which one it's connected to, hon. Okay, now I have another question, Star Crossing. How is he going to figure out where I am? How is he going to figure out where I am when he doesn't even communicate with me? That is crazy. To see pacing. What does this masculine energy look like? Star Crossing. And I suppose if he misses me, he'll give up. Yeah. Can you see like hair color, how approximately how tall they are? Oh, he'll call or he'll just show up in my third eye again. Ugh, I don't even think if he know. I don't even think he has my phone number anymore, hon. So this masculine energy, 5'8" to 6 foot, darkish hair. It's easy to get my phone number. Head down, looking at the ground. Is he kind of tall? Well, okay. Is he kind of thin? I think he'd have a hard time finding my phone number because I have a security address and phone number. Well, I don't know. Maybe he kept it when I messaged him with the freaking what the bleep movie. Not like a pool fin, his body hits his height. I was wondering if it was my dad because he was 6 foot tall. He was thin when he was younger, more toward bald when he died, and chunky. Had blue eyes with gold in the middle. Yeah, I would get nervous talking to dead people. So star-crossing, mention some names and see if he responds when you mention to names. If he lifts his head instead of looking at the ground. Did Leon outgrow his phase of ghost hunting, hun? I don't know if I. Yeah, there's a lot of ghost towns down here he would probably have a ball with. And the Stanley Hotel up in Estes Park, where they filmed The Shining, that movie's that hotel is haunted too. The Brown Palace Hotel downtown is haunted. Everybody that works there and has always worked there has stories to tell about that. Okay, who gets nervous around you? Star crossing. He's relaxing some. Are you talking about the masculine energy? My dad, tall. He was thin when he was younger. Had a big nose, bigger version of my nose. He wore glasses when he got older. This lady tells me that he hangs around in my energy field too. Oh, Leon gets nervous around Casey. Yeah, because he knows how intuitive she is. My dad was a civil engineer for the government. He was in the military when he was younger. He wasn't around when my sisters were growing up, so um, and then when he was a civil engineer for the government, he was walking through the mountains and everything, mapping the mountains. So he was never home then. So he quit being a civil engineer and went to work for Denver Metro. Slows down the beeping when you talk about my dad. Wow. He quit and went to work for Denver Metro Transit back in the 50s and was a diesel mechanic. And he wanted to have one more kid. My sisters are 13 and 15 years older than me. They were. Yeah. And then after my mom died when I was 11, it was just me and him. He was not a nice person. You don't think Leon gets nervous around you? He definitely gets flustered when he was talking about a commitment between a. Casey, does the beeping slow down when I talk to my dad? My dad had a temper. He used to get so mad his face would turn purple. That's one of the main things that my kids remember when they were growing up, is when he would get mad, his face would turn purple. He would get so angry. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Tiffany's still kind of freaked out about the black-eyed kids. She's doing a lot of cleansing and healing after that. That was pretty devastating for her. That would be devastating for me. You're not hearing it at all? I'm not hearing it either. Ah, thank you for sending that, Casey. I'll watch that when we get off of here. So you said it was under community, hon? There it is. King of Swords, King of Wands. Lovers and Ace of Cups. And of course, the King of Swords would be an air sign, which would be a Gemini. think it's my dad. Yeah. He seems to, I had one medium, her name is, I can't even think of her name. She was on here a couple weeks ago on a Friday night. She says that he's always standing over my left shoulder. Yeah, King of Wands is a fire sign. And King of Swords is an air sign, yeah. Do you have any peppermint, hon? Or rosemary oil? Wow. Okay, so Casey, rub your hands together like this. Okay? And put them on both sides of your head and see if that clears it. What do you get star-crossing? I would also check and see if there's any. Okay, I don't think it'd be a cord, but I would close your eyes and look at your energy field, hon, and see if there's anything above your head that is like strings or lightning bolts or something that's coming into your head, and clear those. And you could also go like this too and see if you could clear some of the energy. Girl, sometimes I do them cards and what comes out of my mouth is something totally different than what I'm thinking. I just am in awe of the universe all the time. And it's funny because that astrologer that, he just gave me a mini reading. And then I did a reading for him and he goes, wow, you're good at this. And I said, well, you just got through telling me how intuitive I was. I said, that's funny. Index finger. What are you getting? Start crossing. Hold on, ladies. I need to run to the bathroom. Yes, Tinkerbell. So it's like Casey is stuck in the cross current. Hi, Austin. How are you tonight, hon? So, Austin, the topic is How did you get started on your spiritual path, hon? Good, 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 good. My dad was the cross current, huh? I think my dad was probably intuitive because, well, the funny thing is, my mom and dad were cousins. And if you go back and you look at my family, at least since the 1600s, cousins have married cousins. So if my mom was intuitive, my dad had to be intuitive too. Yeah. Right. I was asking Austin, Beth, this time, hon. Austin, are you still here, hon? What got you started on your spiritual path, hon? You fixing to move out of your city soon? Did you put in your for your transfer already, hon? And I'm going to ask you again, Austin. What got you started on your spiritual path, hon? That's okay, Beth. That's okay, hon. Honest mistake. Your hidden abilities. Oh, so explain your hidden abilities, hon. And did you have troubles with YouTube today, Austin? Because I can't see my YouTube screen and I had to get on a different computer and I still can't see my YouTube screen, but I can see the chat. Right, but what triggered you tapping into your hidden abilities, hon? What triggered you? Well, that's good. If he's intuitive, then he'll understand more about what Beth is experiencing also, you know? Okay, I know you had no idea you could do that, okay? Just some self-reflection. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure more than a few nudges from Spirit also. He trying to push you out. But that's part of the fun, Beth. That's part of the fun. Is you get to sit back and watch him come awake. Watch his spiritual growth. You know? That's so cool to watch somebody come awake, you know? So, Beth, I think that you and him had some lifetimes on Atlantis. For some reason, that keeps coming through. I think you guys were in Atlantis together. Oh my god. That is so hard, Beth. I am so ready to give up on mine. I have cut off all the freaking. Yeah. I got off all the dating apps. I only had 20 and 30-year-olds hitting me up. That is not going to happen. And then all of a sudden, I got a message from Zoosk. That's been on pause for 2 years. I got a message from Zoosk that my account was reactivated. I said, what the hell? So I went in and closed it down again, and somebody opened it up again. So I went in and changed the password, and I notified Zoosk. I said, if anybody was notified, it wasn't for me. And they said, nope, you caught it in time. So I went ahead and I deal with that. Kind of given up. How long is the waiting list for the apartment, hon? And how long will it take for your transfer to go through? So you might want to ask the universe to align that time frame up for you, hon. What would it take for the apartment to open up the same time as a job opening opens up for me? 1 to 2 months. Yeah. Don't forget to keep an eye out on those houses, hon. I would love to see you own your own house for less than what it would cost you for rent. You know? Ugh. 8 months. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen mine for 3 years this month. In fact, probably 3 years today. It's been since I saw mine. But yet he still comes in on 5D and dreams and third eye and in my energy field, no matter what blocks I put up. Waves. So associate some things with waves that would be like crashing, turmoil. That's cool, Austin. Yeah, make it into a real business. Did you ever do that fair you were going to do, Austin? That one in Colorado Springs was the first fair I ever did. Well, I can't say that because they had a little tiny fair in Buena Vista, Colorado, and my friend tricked me into doing readings. That was interesting because that showed me how you draw to you people that are going through something you've already experienced and you're able to help them. So he went into panic mode, or you went into panic mode, hon, Beth? One of the last dreams that I had about mine is he showed up as his younger self. He and he walked away, and then he came back as his older self, was tired, exhausted, and he looked like he'd been dragged through the mud. So, wow. Lots of turmoil. No contact at all. That's so hard, huh? So responsibility took president, president, press. Yeah, I can't say it. I'm sorry you had to go through that, hon. It's just not fair, huh? That's kind of what went on with mine. He was paying for his daughter to go through college. Plus, I think he was going through a divorce. He said he'd been divorced for a long time, but he made a little comment that um, he made a comment that his house was worth such and such, and then the next time we talked about it, he said that he had to refinance the house to pay her off. And I said, interesting. He's not quite through all the divorce yet, or he just got the divorce. But he was working 2 jobs to put his daughter through college. So he was working like 60 hours a week. Yeah. The tangled webs we weave. Are you guys ready for this full moon eclipse? It's always hard when kids have to be taken care of. Yeah. He weaved and you're not tangled. Good for you. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I'd say an overachiever too, hun. That's crazy. Mine is married to his career. It's not a job, it's a career. He loves his career. And I think part of that's from his childhood. I'm sure that somebody was very hard on him. So he's doing service. One of his biggest fears is going to hell. We had a conversation about that. He buys into the judgmental part of the universe. And I told him, I said, if you look at yourself as a parent, if your daughter made a mistake, would you condemn her to hell? Or would you gently try to guide her back on the right path? So let me ask this, Star Crossing. Is he living in the same area he was living before, or has he moved out here in this county? Can you pick that up? My my twin flame. Does he live in this county or does he still live where he did before? Or did he move farther away? Beth, he may have people that are physically keeping track of you, hon. You know, maybe he's figuring he's got to take care of all these responsibilities before he could devote himself to you. That's okay. You can finish up with her, hon. I think that's what I feel like. Is there are people that are physically watching her, letting him know what she's doing and not doing. Ah, great. Now my YouTube is, yeah. Thank you, Star Crossing. Yeah, he lives an hour away then. Because somebody told me that he keeps driving by my house, but he would only do that if he came to visit his friends a couple towns over. Was your brother good friends with him, hon? Don't forget, guys can only focus on one thing at a time. And he may have so much stuff going on that he feels like he just can't commit to you right now. What you doing? Come here. Come here. Come here. You're so funny. You're so funny. He must know somebody or no, but I bet you'll be looking for black SUVs from now on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there. Is it physical security or is it a spiritual security, Star Crossing? Now every time she sees a black SUV, she's going to wonder. Ah. Don't know why I'm so tired tonight. That's what I say. If somebody was watching me, they'd be as bored as hell because I don't go anywhere or do anything. Because I did go to the fair last week. Yes, we live such boring lives. I had a gal that I was talking to that um, her her partner's family was harassing her. They were even following her on YouTube. And sending her text messages stuff about things that she was doing and stuff. I would have changed my phone number, but she had reasons that she couldn't change it yet, so mine just irritates me because he's in my energy all the time. I don't hear him. He doesn't say anything. He's just there. I put up brick walls energetically. uh, what else? I did a bunch of things. I put him in a bubble and I blew the bubble away. Turned around the next morning. He's standing right behind me. It's like, what the heck? It's like I don't know. This man's so comfortable where he's at. Like you were saying with where he lives, he's so comfortable with his lifestyle, everything. I don't know that this man would make the effort to have a relationship. I was listening to a woman. She was talking. So her mentors, uh, her mentors had told her that people that do spells are new souls, that the evolved older souls don't do spells. If you ever find if he ever comes back, Beth, I would have him talk to somebody that does access consciousness bars. That helps dramatically. In fact, a lot of access bars practitioners and facilitators would probably run these bars for free. Yeah, 1111. Yes, I have I have been seeing 1111 constantly for 3 days. For 3 days now. You've done the access consciousness bars, hon? I just call in the archangels for protection. And the polar bears. And now the dragons. Flotation therapy. Yeah. Anything that works. Anything that works. Because I know a lot of most of the access consciousness bars practitioners around the country usually do PTSD for free. So, and if you look on YouTube, there's if you look up access consciousness bars and scientists, I have to go in and look at the latest, but there's a scientist that goes in and specifically tests alternative healing modalities. And forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, because the bars clears the spark, the trauma and everything out of the brain. Well, a prayer is spell work too, star crossing. When you say a prayer, that or light a candle with a prayer on it, that's still a form of spell work. People just don't even understand. They right away go in and judge everything. I called in an earth dragon to light a fire under his seat. Acupuncture, yeah. Acupuncture's awesome. Oh my gosh. Yep, 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 yep. They have a tendency to forget that there's always something new to learn. Man. I'm just tired, exhausted of trying to keep this guy out of my energy field. I'm trying to move forward, move on. Yeah. Yeah. I just want to move forward. Maybe I just don't have the faith that this guy will ever be come out of his comfort zone in order to make the effort to to even see if I'm open to a relationship or how I feel. He's just, yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to have faith that he'll do it. I don't know. I just don't think that I don't have the faith that he'll do the work. Mine is a Capricorn. Mine is a Capricorn. Virgos are pretty fixed. That's what I'm doing now. I just kind of surrendered into it, but it just, yeah. But the thing is, I want to move forward. I don't have the faith that he's going to do the work. I want to move forward. Why is this man stuck in my energy field? When I went to the first fair in Colorado Springs, the lady said, he's not coming back for a year. And he doesn't understand this connection between you two. The second lady I talked to, I said, she brought him up. I don't even ask, okay? She brought him up, and I said, do you see him coming back? And she goes, he never left. There's no cord. I can't find any cords, Star Crossing. And if he's a twin flame, there's no cords to cut anyway. I keep going in and looking at the fifth dimension and make sure there's no cords coming out of fifth dimension also from him. But I can't find any cords. I can't. There's something called stealth cords. If I even went in and asked if there was any stealth cords. Stealth cords are invisible. Only the angels can see them. And I asked for them to come in and cut any cords known and unknown. Stomach area. Because I have looked through in fact, I've gone out and looked through 12 energetic layers to see if there's any cords from him. And I'm not seeing them. But it's like, how in the hell can you move on when you've got somebody stuck in your energy field? I will go in and look at that tonight, the stomach area, but I have looked everywhere. I know when one of my friends did some healing work on me after 3 years ago when we quit talking. And what they found was he was attached to my breath. And when they found that, he said she's the breath of my life. Take them with you, just not with you. Yeah. I need to learn to differentiate that. All I want to do is experience a loving, caring. I want a healthy relationship. I figured I went through 3 of the worst relationships in my life, if you count my dad. I think the universe owes me a good relationship. Yeah, it's not fun. So I've just kind of surrendered it. I keep surrendering him into the universe's hands. I'm surrendering him to his higher good. Yes. I send him love and light and surrender him into divine consciousness. Send him back to source. Universe, what would it take for us to be able to differentiate? Ugh. It is hard, because I waited for a while, then I resisted for a while because the more he comes in dreams and stuff, it's like, what the heck? What the heck? And then a lady was talking to me. We were talking about it at the fair. The lady that was my partner at the fair, she goes, "You need to quit talking about him." I said, "I didn't talk about him for almost 3 years, and now I'm talking about it because I want to move on. I want to clear this stuff." When another lady that was next to us, she says, "Well, you need to figure out why that he's in your energy field and he won't leave." She goes, "I charge $250 to clear that." It's like, uh, I know, I know. Well, what you resist persists. That's why I kind of surrendered into it. But it's like now I'm trying to find answers. I guess I would say, yeah. I'm sorry. We all have to experience that. The only place I get any relief from him is the spiritual room that I have created in my head. I have two of them. One that I can invite people in to do healing work, and another one that is only my space. I'm the only one that's in there. And it's like this beautiful house I've created on a like a cliff. There's a waterfall to the right. There's a clearing with the forest on the left hand side. Hard headed and stubborn. I would have to say mine is lazy, star crossing. Yeah, like woodpecker lips. So what would it take for his energy to shift? Yeah, mine is just lazy. So he might be hardworking physically, but he's lazy emotionally. So what would it take for him to relax and I think so what I think that he keeps so busy so he doesn't have to He doesn't have to experience these feelings. Yes. Yeah, that's one of the things she was talking about, him staying on top of his mindfulness. But if you keep busy, then you don't have to deal with what you're feeling, you know? Yeah. So Star Crossing, is mine still working two jobs? I feel like he's gonna have to something's gonna happen to make him look at how he feels. So universe, what would it take for him to cry? Wow. So in other words, he's gonna have a major breakdown. So well, universe, what would it take for him to deal with his emotions and cry? Wow. They all carry that, I think. All of them carry something like that, Beth. But you can't tell them any different, you know. I don't know what life path mine is because I think he gave me a wrong birth date. I just think that he never had, yeah. He said he wanted a long term relationship, but I don't think he ever had any real intention in having a long term relationship. But if he gave me the right birth date, mine would be a 6. No coin. Yeah. He doesn't have any coins at all, Beth. Hi, Enlightenment. I'm frozen. Can you hear me, hon? Because Beth and Star Crossing can hear me. Yeah. It might be just the way I was sitting, too. Did he used to flip the stone? we're kind of talking, yeah. Star is giving some guidance to Beth. Do you have asthma, hon? Are you taking probiotics, Enlightenment? You want a good probiotic and a good prebiotic because that will make a huge difference in your breathing. And I would also check into NAC. Amazon is not selling it anymore, but it's a lung liver remedy. It's an enzyme that the lungs need desperately. You're going with a tropical theme. Oh. Hi, Triple Moon. Pneumonia, COVID, scarred lungs. This is something specific. This is called NAC, and it's something they used to use for lungs before they came up with inhalers. And I'd be careful of the liver cleanses that they sell in Walgreens. And Hemming seed. No, it's NAC. NAC. In fact, my doctor gave me a bottle of it and told me this is what they used to use before inhalers. There are some homeopathic remedies that you can get to help clear scarring. And girl, I would use some visualization to where you go in and smooth out all the scar tissue in your lungs. Do some visualizing. Is the oregano oil helping you, Enlightenment? I think what part of what's going on with me is they have me on something to slow down my heart rate, and I have problems with so many medications. Like, and this is a form of a, what do they call them? I forget what, a channel blocker or a calcium blocker. I don't know, one of them. But it's to slow the heart rate down. They gave me the wrong medication this last time. They gave me a generic one instead of the original one, and it has been bringing down my energy and my breathing big time. Yeah. So pay attention to your medications and stuff. Calcium blocker and channel blockers. Yep. I can't take them. And this one that I'm taking now is the lowest dose they have, and it's a 24-hour formula. But then they gave me the wrong one. They gave me the generic, and I have celiac and everything. I'm sure that's why I react to a lot of medications. What kind of fillers are they putting in there? Yeah, I don't have arrhythmia. I have AFib. And and the doctors don't listen. I have told this doctor that I have celiac for 10 years. And he told me this last time, he goes, "Well, when were you diagnosed with celiac?" And I said, "About 20 years ago." Because a lot of vitamins and stuff, you don't absorb a lot of vitamins. That's part of the reason I ended up with B12 anemia, because I wasn't absorbing the B vitamins. That's part of the damage from the celiac. And if I accidentally get any of it, then I'm not going to absorb anything. So, yeah. I have been through hundreds of doctors in my lifetime because they didn't listen to me and they were failing me, you know? They knew I was sick, they couldn't figure out why, and then they started telling me, well, even though they could see that I was sick, they were telling me in my head. Yeah, they don't believe nothing. If you take D3, you also should be taking K2 because K2 helps your body regulate the D3. See, there's such a balance in there. I kind of think, I wonder if it'll tell me. But there's some homeopathic remedies. Homeopathy for silica is good for in case of characteristic scarring and thickening of the inner lung layers. It's a homeopathic remedy. And because I used it. But homeopathy is such a low dose of everything. Muscle test yourself to see if you need it or not. Let's see, where is it? Did you see it? Probably won't let me put it on. You have to ask him to do the Epstein-Barr virus test, hon. I have A negative blood too, enlightenment. Okay. I would muscle test if you or use a pendulum to see if this is something you need, hon. Oh, it's not gonna let me put it, is it? Let's see if it'll let me put that in. There it is. A negative? Yeah, it's rare. We seem to be descended from people that uh, it's the newest blood. That and AB, A and AB are the newest bloods. They appeared just somewhere out of nowhere. But if you know how to use a pendulum or muscle test, ask about silica and see if that's something you need. One more question, Star. Is my guy still working 2 jobs, son? Well, I kind of wonder if yeah, use the pendulum. Ask, always ask. I go when I go to Vitamin Cottage. I either use a pendulum. Okay, I either use a pendulum or muscle testing. You feel one? Okay. Yeah. You really, really think that he's going to come back? Sorry, hon. I can't help but doubt. He's lazy. He's lazy. Oh, negative. And O blood is the only one that can be used for everybody. That's cool, Triple Moon. See, have you got 1,000 followers yet, hon? I have. This week has been inside and out for doing reviews. That is so cool. Yeah, I had to have shots after all my kids too. Yeah. I'm yeah. She thinks he's coming back, but I don't know. I just am skeptical, you know? Cool. Everybody go subscribe to Triple Moon Goddess. Let's get her up to 1,000 anyway. I got up to 721 and then a bunch of people dropped off again. I had about 15 new people Wednesday night. I know, hon. That's that free will. Thank you, Star Crossing. I appreciate it. Yeah. Somebody told me that they liked my channel being small because then they could get in for readings. I cancel all of that. It's such a roller coaster, Beth. It's such a roller coaster. Yeah. I know, no. I'm just, I guess I'm just discouraged. I know, and I'm very much aware of that. Very much aware of it. But it's coming up, you know. Good readers that do free readings take longer from, yeah. Yeah, he is stubborn. He's got a huge ego. Let me put it that way. He's stubborn, he's set in his ways, and he's got a huge ego. But I think if he does decide to commit, that he will, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the tables. I'll tell you, if when he comes back, he's gonna have to work for it. He's gonna have to show me, we're gonna have to start all over from the beginning. Girl, he's in my energy field all the time. All the time. This man doesn't let go of me. I do send loving messages all the time. But it's just frustrating. I'm trying to move on. Yeah, turn your tables too. Yeah. This is one of the reasons. Yeah. I try to keep busy. I try to keep involved in things. I try to learn new things. Yeah. Same thing. Try to keep busy. I let go of expecting a long time ago, but then when I let go of expecting, then he was in my energy field even more. You know? So what kind of pendulum? Yeah. Yeah, I'm to that point too. I have no expectations. If he shows up, it's going to be a shock. The kit box, that's cool. Yeah, it's time, grab some girlfriends and go out and have some dinner or go start doing some things. I am building a bed in the back of my Subaru that I could put things under, like my camping stove and my pans and dishes and clothes and stuff, so I can go out and do some camping. My Sig Lindgren. How cool is that? That's cool. Girl, I don't need any more decks. I have a whole cupboard full right here, and I have two doorways with those shoe racks on them, those plastic shoe over the door shoe things, full of decks too. I guess I collect them. Yeah, there's just me here. I don't have to take care of anybody but me. But you know what, hon? It'd be good for you to get out too. You need to make some altar class. Yeah. I try to dress up. I don't go out without my makeup on and some nice clothes. Try to look nice all the time. I remember, and my sister made an impression on me because she used to put makeup on and lipstick before her husband came home from work. Good for you. What state are you in, Beth? It bothers him. Yeah. What gets me is how he knows when I go out of state. Tennessee. Tiffany's in North Carolina, and she goes down to the beach in I think she said in Georgia all the time. I always thought it was the How are you doing, Mandy's cards? So I always thought it was the mountains that I was drawn to, but then my kids and I took a trip up. We went up through Yellowstone, up through Montana and Idaho and Washington and Oregon and down the California coast. It's the trees that I'm drawn to. It's the trees that I'm drawn to. And I'm in Colorado. There's lots of lakes here. We have such a diverse culture here. Yeah. Yes, it's Friday. It's Friday. What state are you in, Mandy? Triple moons in Texas. Yours lives in Colorado? Colorado has such a diverse, we've got deserts and forests and plains and mountains and yeah. That's right, that's right. Yes. I want have you been up to Taylor Park? I wanted to go up to Taylor Park. Last year is the first time. It's always been a four-wheel driver. No angels tonight, hun. No angels tonight. I promise next week for sure. This week has been inside and out like you wouldn't believe. Okay? Do you like to camp, Mandy? Taylor's Park is west of Colorado Springs. And like I said, it used to be a four-wheel drive. They just Um, uh, they just paved a road up there. I want to go up there and see it. Yeah. Your son's going to Colorado? Cool. Yes. We were talking about having a camping trip here in Colorado if everybody wanted to come down. We could all go to the sand dunes. Yeah, Vail is beautiful. Because one of the gals wanted to go to the sand dunes, but she's not coming on here anymore. So, yeah. I am so ready to go camping. So ready. Like I said, I'm a bit, yeah. I'm in the high plains in Colorado. I'm about 4 hours from the sand dunes. Yeah, my life gets a little messy too. Yeah, I used to take my some of the greatest trips in my grandkids remember is going to the sand dunes. You know, there's a little place up here. It's a small park. It's called Sylvan Lake State Park. That's my favorite place to camp in the whole state. But that is such a popular place. The reservations for that were gone. They opened up reservations at midnight. By 1 o'clock, they were all gone. But there's a couple places um, up behind the campground to park. So yes, messy has a purpose, and a lot of times it's distraction, Mandy. Girl, if you decide you want to take a road trip, let me know and let's go. We could take a road trip. Ah, where was that at, Enlightenment? You don't do distractions. Yeah, my children are distractions. I had to laugh because my youngest child, okay, she's 20. How old is she? 25 this year? Yeah, she's 25 this year. She posted, and she's got a 15-month-old baby. This 15-month baby, when they tell her no, she yells at them. I said, "Oh, that is so funny." So she posted the other day on Facebook. It says, "I never realized how I was annoying I was until I created a mini me, and now I see." Huggy Poo is, where are you, Tink? Oh, she's in her little bed. Puggy Poo had a ball at the fair last week. She crawled out from under the table and greeted everybody. She's like, Oh, I'm in seventh heaven. I have all these people adoring me. I said, that is so funny. Yeah, this pug had a ball at the fair. Oh my gosh, girl. Your oldest is almost 25. My youngest is 25. My oldest is 40, 45. 45? Yeah. I really want to take a road trip. I keep saying that I'm going to do this. I want to drive north to Minnesota, drive along the Canadian border, go up to Michigan, come down the East Coast, and then work my way back through some of the states. Now, the Colorado Springs Fair, I was pretty busy the second day, the third day. There wasn't a lot of people on Saturday, but Sunday, this weather was nice and everybody showed up. What happened with this one is she brought all her products. Oh my God, her products are so awesome. She buys the best essential oils from around the world. And her sister's sensitive to everything. If her sister's sensitive to something, then she knows it's not pure, okay? So she sold all her oils and stuff, and um, we had our tables were too close together. One lady said, "I didn't know you were doing readings because I just thought you guys were together." So I only had two readings, but that's okay. Yeah, I learned a lot. I learn as much from you guys as you guys do from me. Okay? Triple Moon, you should drive up here and we could go because I want to go north first and then come back south. I figured we could probably do a lot in a couple weeks. That would be a couple weeks trip. Yeah. She has okay, she orders oils from around the world, and I don't know. She's on she's on Instagram, hun. Let me give you the name. Vero Beach has some spiritual shops. Yeah. She gave me some waxes to melt. Okay, it's Pharos Apothecary, and it's on Instagram. But she gave me this. God, this smells so good. I don't even want to burn it. I don't have a wax burner. But this is called Clear. She goes, you know how you go in and take your spiritual bath. She says you burn this and it clears the energy in the room too. We don't want to live in Florida. We want to visit Florida. But this is called Clear. Yeah, and she gets the therapeutic grade essential oils from all over the world. She doesn't spare any cost. You've been going to relocate for a while anyway, Mandy. I guess Colorado has me spoiled. Yeah, like I said, it's Pathos Pharos Apothecary, and it's on Instagram. Her name is Bernice Gonzalez. But yeah, I had to. You guys can all come to Colorado. Now Bernice was looking for some land. Okay, Bernice was looking for some land to start a spiritual center down here. And it's interesting because we ran into some people at the fair, okay, that have, it's, how do I explain? It's these like dome houses, and it has personal financing. You put down like $200 and you make payments. But what happens is you guys are each financing each other's houses, and they're going to build a spiritual community. Yeah. Mandy, I like to take road trips. In fact, my friend wants me to come to Alaska, but it's like 3,000 miles to drive to Alaska. Your cat turned on the kitchen faucet. How funny. Yeah. You would live anywhere with palm trees? I have to have the great big huge pine trees and lakes. Yeah, in fact, one of my friends she's working up in Fairbanks, Alaska. It's interesting because it's 3,000 miles up there and back, and I thought, do I want to put that kind of mileage on my car? But then I thought, it's $200 round trip from Denver to Fairbanks, Alaska. I said it'd be less expensive to fly up there and rent a car and drive all over, you know? Yeah, my youngest daughter lives in Arizona. Daisy lives in Arizona that comes on here. My allergies are bad down there. Just let me know, Mandy. We can take some road trips. I'm always up for a road trip. Have you been up to Yellowstone yet, Mandy? Or South Dakota? South Dakota is about 6 hours from Denver. Oh, heavens. It's all new. I thought I had read somewhere that willow trees were like a sign of grieving. I don't know. Let me look up willow trees. My dad had a willow tree mainly appears mainly as a weeping willow. In this form, it is the tree of the gods. The Celts made dolls of willow wood, which were burned to drive away the god of winter. The willow is a medicinal plant, especially the bark of the willow is traditionally used in healing. Seeing a willow in a dream often is a sign of success and good fortune that awaits you soon. Dreaming of a willow tree bent over water surfaces. If you dreamed of a willow tree over some water, that dream is usually not a good sign. It could indicate encountering some challenges soon that you need to overcome. And here's what I heard. To dream of a willow tree symbolizes sadness and mourning, but it says the willow tree has healing properties. So the appearance in a dream proves that if this event occurs, it may be the case of rising from the pain. Yeah. Ooh, did we get busy all of a sudden? Hope and healing, yes. Look at banyan trees. Ah, willow trees are awesome. They just are so laid back, so relaxed. They just flow with the wind. They're so flexible. And a banyan tree, oh come on. Huh. I asked for banyan tree. Oh yeah, banyan trees are huge. They're definitely different. The banyan tree is considered a symbol of immortality. Its aerial roots that grow down from its branches, forming additional trunks and anchor the tree to the ground. It symbolizes the creator Brahma as it symbolizes longevity. Two willow trees at the end of a driveway. There's spirits in all the trees. In fact, somebody asked me what fairies were, and they're nature spirits, you know. Ouch. Let's see what else it says about willow trees. The willow trees at the end of a driveway, huh? The willow tree origins and its meaning is near the water, both from a purely symbolic and natural point of view. The willow is strongly linked to the element of water and magic ingrained in it. It's a demonstration of life within which the celestial energetic teaching is exposed. Some species of trees are thousands of years old, and therefore, for humans, the tree personal, personalizes everlasting life. The willow tree has always been a mystical and magical tree. It is used for healing, church holidays, and rituals. The willow tree is message is to adjust with life rather than fighting it, surrendering to the process. Let go and surrender completely to our innermost selves and to gain a deeper understanding of subconscious. Another powerful symbolic meaning of the willow tree is its adaptability. It also represents dreams, strength, stability, balance, belonging, safety, hope, harmony, and growth. Yes. We should do a tree oracle deck. Long driveway, huh? I keep saying that I'm going to paint some pictures and turn them into tarot cards, but I get distracted. So what I did I kind of looked at some of the meanings on the timing tarot cards, okay, and I put them on dice. I made dice out of them. Spirit trees. I think of you got a ton of timing oracle. That's funny. I just went in and got a bunch of meanings and put them all on dice. I eventually I will create a deck, but I'm going to do it out of my own paintings. You know, I have done a couple paintings for. I wanted to put pictures of my paintings up for each one of the astrological signs when I do the readings. I have one done for Taurus and Aquarius. That's got as far as I got. Life gets in the way. Yeah. Into it. I have to check it out. I've been through all the western states. I've been through 26 of the states. I haven't been to Alaska and Hawaii, but I do want, like I said, I want to go take a road trip and take my time going through the states and looking at everything I could see. Wow, you just said his sign and my sign? Who are you talking to, hon? Oh, the Taurus and the Aquarius? Yeah. Yeah. Taurus and Aquarius. I'll have to check it out. Who found a way in Star Crossing? Aquarius and Taurus? The thing is, Mandy, you wouldn't be leaving your kids permanently. I've been trying to put together a Libra to paint. I kind of want to do well, I don't know. I kind of wanted to do someone like in a lotus pose with their hands out like this, with the scales coming out of that. I don't know. I got to play around with it. Austin's supposed to be doing his cards, hon. Yeah, but I'm talking about taking a road trip. I'm not talking about moving, hon. Yeah. Oh yeah, these Libras. When this guy did my astrology reading at the fair, he freaked out. Wow, you've got 5 planets in Libra. And then he freaked out because everything's on the left-hand side. But he said I had some T squares with with family relationships. And what else did he say? Money? But the middle of the T square all comes back to Libra. Okay? And that's working on balance. You'd find a place to live and stay. And he kept telling me how intuitive I was. And he just did a quick little reading. But he didn't, he was puzzled because he didn't see anything showing health problems, which I've had all my life. He didn't show anything about abusive relationships. And you were really, really intuitive. And then when I did his cards, he freaked out. He goes, wow. Yeah, I'm a Libra. I have my sun, moon, rising, Mercury, and one other planet are all in Libra. Yeah. But all mine, my chart, everything is a V. There's no X's, everything's a V because it's all on one side. Everything's on the left-hand side of my chart. I don't have it handy or I'd show it to you. Yeah. Yeah. I know I I was going to check with him about doing the chart. And you told me to tell him that you sent me. My Venus is in Scorpio. I don't act like a typical Libra, except I am kind of obsessive about balance and fairness. And my partner went out and spent a bunch of money without telling me how much money she was spending. And then she told me it was $400, and then I thought, okay, so I need to pay half of that. Well, no, I owed the $400. So I kind of was a little upset with her because she went in and spent a lot more than I thought she should have. So, but we had fun. So, but it bothers me because everything needs to be in balance. Everything needs to be fair. I didn't want her. I didn't want to feel like I was taking advantage of her. Yes, very expensive surprise. Yes, yes, yes. Your Libra is so unbalanced. Like I said, I got to have that fairness. I got to have that balance. And one of the gals, I was talking to her about some health stuff. I really want to order this health stuff, and all this stuff is new to her, right? And I was telling her I am so obsessive about balance sometimes that and Casey laughs about this. Okay, I said two red, two blue, two brown, two yellow, two green of the M&Ms, and I have to eat one on each side. It has to be balanced. Ugh, it's crazy. Well, have you looked at your chart? Do you have Libra anywhere in your chart? Yeah, yeah. Little things like that. So the gal was laughing when I told her that about the M&M. She goes, "Oh, I just grab them and I just stuff them all in my mouth." She goes, "I didn't even think about it. I just stuff them all in my mouth." That's so funny. It's crazy. Mandy, let me ask you this. We were talking about this earlier. Mandy, what started you on your spiritual path? Yeah. What started you on your spiritual path, hon? You too, Triple Moon. What started you on your spiritual path? Oh my gosh, girl. Your twin started you on your spiritual path? I had no idea. I didn't never paid attention to twin flames until I met this guy. And I had to have some reason for all the weird things that were happening. The unexplainable things that you can't even make up. Yeah. So, Star Crossing, I told my friend that does some numerology and astrology, I said, what the hell did I do to deserve two Capricorn daughters? She told me, look at your Mars. I bet your Mars is in Capricorn. You have some things to learn from Capricorns. Sure enough, my Mars is in Capricorn. Yep. And then Twin Flame is a Capricorn also. My oldest son is complaining that my daughters are drama queens, that they're crazy. I said, they're Capricorns. He says, well, they're crazy. I said, uh-huh. And look at your son. He's a Capricorn. He goes, he's a drama king. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, we do sign up for these lessons. I know. But that's probably the most important thing to learn is the fine print, you know? Okay, I wear this crystal, okay? This crystal pulls you back into your body because I get into my spirituality so much, sometimes my spirit would be up here and not in the body. This keeps me anchored in the body, okay? But then you look too, the earth signs help keep me grounded, especially when I'm all up in the air, you know? I was married. The only two men that I dated and married, one was a Gemini, definitely had two personalities, and he was a narcissist and abusive. And the second one was a Taurus. Yeah. My youngest son is an Aries. Very, very, very hardworking Aries. Yeah. My oldest son is a very intuitive Pisces that thinks he knows everything. Yep. I hear you, Star Crossing. And my dad was a Gemini. No. Yeah. My dad was a Gemini too. Yeah. Ugh. Somebody told me the other day they couldn't believe that I've only dated 2 men and married them. My mom was a Virgo, and my dad was, yeah, abusive with her too. I have no problem with Gemini women. It's the Gemini men that I have problems with. And my dad was on here earlier, and there was like a cross wire causing somebody a headache. Yes, Gemini men and Gemini women are very different. Yeah, 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 I figured he was gone. It was interesting that I just had a feeling it was him. I don't know what he was trying to tell me. I've got a grandson that is a Virgo Libra cusp, and right now he's going through his Saturn return. He's a mess. Yeah. Yeah, first husband still thinks he's the cat's meow. You're in the Saturn return right now? No fun. Okay, so Saturn return usually happens from like age 27 to 30, and again about 28, 29 years later. Okay, so you figure 28, about 56. Okay, anywhere from 54 to 60. Yeah, yeah. The first Saturn return kind of forces you to grow up a little. No, it's about every 28, 29 years. And it was funny because I was talking to a couple people on here and I said, "How old are you?" And they said 27. I said, "Oh, you guys are in Saturn return." Uh, Triple Moon, why don't you put in, ask, when is your Saturn return and for your birth date? Yeah. There's a book out there called The Liquid Light of Sex, and it's about Saturn return. It's not anything to do with sex at all. It's an older astrology book. Yeah, Austin's in that age group too. Austin and my grandson and Priscilla. Hey, Ivana, how you doing? Thanks, hon. You're doing a series on cosmic karma. Yeah, it's. I'm trying to think it. Oh, I'm trying to think it's who it's by, and I swear that I saw him the other day. Yeah. Yep. Yep. But look at what being a preacher, being the organized religion is control and manipulation and judgment. You know. But it's an older book. I should pull it out. Yeah. So how you doing tonight, Ivana? Your daughter now lies to him. Cosmic Karma is an old book the past life practitioner gave you, huh? I have some old books that a friend of mine gave me that have some of the old dates and stuff in them to look. So, oh, I'm not even going to get into that tonight. I was shown something different for karma when I was in the Akashic records. Karma's not always something that comes back and bites you in the butt, you know? It's just you experiencing why they chose it or why they experienced it or whatever. Yeah. What I'm concerned about is what I see going on in our government. You know, if you do not conform, you do not belong. And they're pulling religion into our government more when there was one of the things in the bill in the Constitution or the Bill of Rights, whichever one, was separation of church and state. And I'm just watching this stuff play out, and it's like, ugh. Especially if you're a woman, if you don't conform, you don't fit in. You're ostracized. Our government is messed up. But I read an article on a bunch of 16-year-old kids in Massachusetts that have educated themselves on um, all the things that they want done, all the things they're concerned about. They helped get a bunch of politicians elected in Massachusetts. And these parties don't know what to think of these 16-year-old kids getting involved and changing the politics. Well, what's going to happen in a couple years when these kids can vote? You know, they are expressing their concern. Some of these political people are reaching out to these 16-year-olds and asking them how to put everything together. These kids are like super geniuses that, you know, that have all these things and this media access and knowledge and everything, and they're getting people elected, and they're going in and doing research on past things people have said and stuff. Yeah, these people had better start paying attention to these kids. There's going to be a shift here, big time. I love the smell of this. Yeah. Who is Deb, hon? You think who is Deb? Oh my goodness. Your tarot friend? Kids, yes. Yes. I was really impressed with these kids. What do they call them? Marvels something? Oh. But it's a group of kids in Massachusetts. And like I said, these political leaders are now coming them for advice on how to win these campaigns and stuff, you know? You know, it was funny. Wednesday night, I had about 15 new people on here, and I have no idea what site they came know any of them. So somebody from one of the tarot groups invited a bunch of people in. Half of them didn't stick around for their readings. I added extra readings since they were new. Half of them didn't stick around for the readings. Your iPhone spells that. I just have a little Android. But you know, there are some kids that are challenging the government, okay? Now, Trump was fighting this tooth and nail. There, I'm trying to figure out what's the name of them. I'm getting tired. There's a group of 21 kids that brought a lawsuit against the United States saying that the United States is destroying all resources for future generations, and the government is arguing back that the government does not have the responsibility of providing resources for, or leaving resources for future generations. How disturbing is that? Beth is a mod for Ramblin' Mike. Ooh. He's a character. He's a character. I listen to a lot of stuff. But these kids have repeatedly gone through judges, and the judges are saying, yeah, there is room for concern there. And so they have a lawsuit that's been going on in I think in Washington or Oregon that the judges keep passing on along, saying this needs to be addressed. Yeah. Yeah, Ramblin' Mike, yeah, he's a character. I listen to a lot of his stuff. He's in Mass. He used to live in Tennessee. So I what's going to be interesting and what kind of changes is Casey going to go through? Birthday, okay. Stacy's. Why am I getting Stacy? Casey's birthday is on 5/26. That's the full moon eclipse. So she's going to be going through some major changes this year. Well, at least he's opening to listening, Triple Moon. You know, a lot of times you can plant the seed, but you can't get him to do anything about it. So that's good. At least he's open and receptive to listening. That's huge. Yeah, Casey already said that they're talking about getting engaged this summer. And then did you? He was so funny yesterday. He got so flustered. Yeah, he got so flustered. My heart is racing like crazy. He's so cute. He was so excited. And yes, we all need healing. But the thing is, we go out and learn all these healing techniques and then we don't use them on yourselves. Yeah. I don't get downloads, but I know somebody comes in and talks to me, and then I wake up the next morning knowing things. What we need to do, Triple Moon, is have another meeting over the shield. Have you been getting any more gifts for your shield, hon? Because Midnight even mentioned it, and it's like, oh, what the heck has been happening? It's crazy. Yeah, we need to do that. I should set it up. So basically, 4 of you have been pendulum, the Japanese fortune cards. Yeah, yeah. I keep getting gifts of gratitude, you know. Every month it's somebody expressing appreciation for me. And it's like, ooh, I have this is something that I have to be open and receptive to, you know. I listen to Baba Jolie and um, Enchanted Tarot. You never opened your channel, hon? You need to do that. At least get it started. Casey's supposed to be starting a channel. She asked me, what should I be doing? I said, a little bit of everything. Yeah. The meaning outweighs the risks. Yeah. Well, the yeah. I started this one to do tarot, but but then it irritated me more and more because nobody teaches the basic spirituality. I don't know if I'm accurate unless you guys give me feedback. All I can do is give you the energy that comes through and encourage you to make choices and decisions. Well, I'm appreciative for everything all of you do. I'm appreciative for everything that you've been telling me, Star Crossing. Gave me some hope anyway. Yeah. Okay, ladies, I'm tired. And I want you to sit here and watch me on all night. I'm still in progress. Yeah, I'm hoping that yes. I'm hoping that the channel will expand, Star Crossing. Thank you all for being here. I love you guys. You're awesome. Yeah, my dad was here. He seems to be coming around a lot lately. hmm And we'll be back again next week. And I should be here Sunday. Well, hopefully, I'll be here Sunday because my son's going to do the brakes on my car. Okay? Yes, invite Deb. That would be nice. Okay? Everybody have an awesome night, an awesome weekend. Triple Moon, I will see if I can. Are you working tomorrow, hon? The Angel Book. Oh, the Feminine Angels. The Feminine Angels. In fact, they just had the book on sale for $1.99 on Hay House. It's just if you go to Hay House and you type in Archangels, it's the Feminine Angels. Okay. Okay. Triple Moon, I will be getting with you in Austin at midnight, and Tiffany, and we will have a meeting, okay? Yeah. It's actually the one I have is the audio, okay? But it's I know it's the Feminine Angels, so yeah. And we will do one for sure next Friday night. I'm just maybe part of it I've been procrastinating on is because we seem to be going through, when I talk about one of the feminine angels, we seem to be going through whatever they represent that week, okay? Okay, so everybody have an awesome week. Love to all, and namaste. I don't know how to turn this off because it doesn't have anything on it. Oh no. Oh heck. It won't let me turn it off.